Want to know the secret to harvesting nice juicy tomatoes like these instead of this? Well, keep watching and I'm going to go through step by step and show you how it works for me time and time again. I'm Marlene and welcome to my home and garden channel. So I'm going to go ahead and start from the beginning right down until harvest. So first you'll see that I'm planting my tomatoes and I had my garden soil in the container and I'm just going ahead and just digging through there to have a nice hole there for my tomatoes. And I'm also going to be attaching at the end a video that's going to show you how you can start from seeds. In this one, I'm actually starting from the seedling. And so I'm going to go now and get the tomato placed in there. And this one is actually a beef steak tomato variety. Just taking my label out there and just gently easing it out. And you just free the bottoms out a little bit, just to make sure that it's easy for the roots to spread out when it's time for them to go in. And then just, have it fit in there. And it's always recommended that you plant your tomatoes as deep as you can down into the soil. And just gently press in to make sure that there aren't a whole lot of air spaces in there. And then once you've done that now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add some Epsom salts. Yes, guys, Epsom salts. And like for this size container, typically I'd say about 3/4 of a tablespoon would be sufficient. And it's actually the magnesium inside of the Epsom salt that is doing the trick. It helps the cells to develop in the plant leaves. And so, they got a lot of energy when they're properly developed. So you just go in and after you, place it in there, you cover it with some more garden soil. And just press it in again lightly. Make sure everything is sturdy there. And then once that has been done, then we're going to go ahead and make sure that we get it watered so that way, it will start to dissolve properly in the soil. And every 2 weeks you can always, water it, in between waterings with the same type of Epsom salt. So you just put 2 tablespoons of Epsom salts to 2 gallons of water. And then, watch your plant grow. Now the next thing is that you'll need to have support for your tomatoes. And I'm just showing you here what I used here. And these are over some of them that were planted from seeds. You can use your tomato cage. You can use a trellis. Or you can even use stakes, that you get from the hardware store. And the ones that I use there, they're pretty flexible. They're made of plastic and they're quite inexpensive. And of course, you'll just need to get some twine, the gardening type that you use that's stretchy. And you'll basically tie your plants onto it, once they start to get established. And then the next thing is to make sure that when you're watering, that you are actually watering them thoroughly, water them deeply. It's better to water them deeply like every other day than to water them shallow every day. So first you'll go ahead and, make sure that you're watering your tomato where it's at. And then, like I'm doing here. And then once you're finished doing that, then you water the surrounding soil so it's completely soaked out. And it's also a pretty good idea to put a little bit of mulch on it too, just some light mulching. Some people swear by red mulch. I just use whatever I can get. And then these right here, these are actually called suckers, and that's exactly what they are. They actually pull the nutrients away from the tomato plant when there are too many of them. So you can just go in and just pinch them off when you see them come up. And that's going to help your plant to just concentrate more on the main stem and just give you lots of fruits. So this is something that you don't want to see here, guys. You want to have beautiful blossoms coming out, not those that, didn't make it. And so to get these beautiful blossoms fertilized, what you have to do is you have to make sure that you are attracting pollinators. And here we have a nice bumblebee, and he's attracted to the salvia plants. You'll need to plant some flowers that will attract bees and butterflies and so on. This salvia, I'll be doing a future video showing you, exactly how to plant it, how to care for it. And it comes back every year, so it's a plus. And it's also so beautiful when you see it, So there are so many good reasons to have this in your garden. And, it comes back every year for me, and I just absolutely love that. Marigolds too are another very good option. And these plants, what they do is they actually keep away bad pollinators, the ones that affect your plant, and attract the good ones. So once your tomatoes start to come in, they're fertilized, they start to grow, it's good at this time to start looking out to see if there are any, like any pests, like insects coming on, different types of caterpillars that may attack it. And again, these flowers that I use, they kind of help to ward some of the bad ones off and have the good pollinators coming through. Now this here is called blossom end rot, and this is something that you don't want to see at all. And this actually results from irregular watering. Like sometimes you may water a lot and then you miss a couple of days. It affects the tomatoes like this. So if that happens to you, you just go in and you just snip them off, throw them away, and don't put them in a compost heap, by the way, just throw them away. And then you should be able to pick up from there going forward. And sometimes it can be low calcium too, so you can just add some baked powdered eggshell, and that should help them to come up. So here are some beautiful ones that I have showing here. You see how gorgeous they are. They're not mature yet, but they're certainly coming up to that point. And I was just so pleased with how they came out, and this pretty much happens every year. And like I said, these are beefsteak tomatoes, so of course you have different varieties. Now sometimes there are just some things that are unpreventable. You can see that those blossoms did not hold like this one did right here, and the reason for that is that tomatoes, they don't do well if the overnight temperature is higher than 80 degrees and the daytime temperature is in the mid-90s. When they're blossoming, they'll fall off or they just won't make it. So I did have a couple here this time when this happened. So all I can say is just wait it out. They will blossom again once everything levels out, and you should be okay from there. And guys, if you love gardening like I do, whether it's flowers or vegetables, I do hope that you will hit the subscribe button and tap on the notification bell so you can follow along with me, see what I come up with. And I do my decorating videos on Thursdays, so be on the lookout for those as well. So here, this is typically when I harvest my tomatoes, because I don't want, like birds to get to them or any other animals. So I prefer to pick them at that point, or even at this stage here. What happened here, you may see that it split a little bit, and the reason for that was because it was a little bit dry and then we had a lot of rain. So, if you're watching the weather like that, it's a good idea to just go ahead and pick them like the day before you get a lot of heavy rain if it was dry before, and that prevents it from splitting. But otherwise, you can still use them. They're still good. The flesh isn't exposed, so you're good to go on that. So this was my harvest here, guys, and it was just so wonderful. I was so happy, so pleased with it. They came in different sizes, but they were just nice and juicy, and I really, really enjoyed them, and I hope that you'll follow these tips and that it'll work out for you. Now this right here is a salad that my son made, and so he was doing his thing, as you can see, and we all enjoyed it. And then what happens next is towards the end of the season, you may have cold weather coming, so you may want to go ahead and pick them. These were actually all green at the time, but what I did was to put them in a brown paper bag and just dropped an apple in there, and that actually helps them all to ripen, at different stages depending on where they are. So you can just go and take out the ones that are riper, put them where you want to use them, and then put it back again until the other ones come up. And every single one of these tomatoes actually ripen, so it definitely works, guys. So I hope this was very helpful to you. I hope you got a lot of tips from it. I wish you all the best in your garden whenever your season comes around, or if you're about to start. I hope that you'll enjoy your harvest when you do get to it. Thank you so much to all of my subscribers that keep coming back time and time again. I certainly appreciate you. And guys, I hope to see you in the next video, and hope you'll have a wonderful day.